Hey, this is the Magic Man, and you're watching my homeboy, Jalen and Jacoby.
He is Jalen Rose. I am David Jacoby. We are Jalen and Jacoby. What is it that we do?
We give the people what they want.
Jalen, I'm going to tell you why my championship pick, the Lakers, are looking great and why your championship pick, the Clippers, are in trouble. But first, we start with more Miami Marlins testing positive. 4 more Marlins testing positive, bringing the total to 17 Marlins testing positive. The Nationals took a vote, said they do not want to go into Miami to play this weekend. Jalen, what does this mean for Major League Baseball?
A good friend of mine is one of the minority owners of the Nationals, and I talked to him about this topic. And being the defending World Series champions, a squad that won it all after Bryce Harper left and got a $300 million deal elsewhere. This is an organization that feels like it's on the uprise. So therefore, why take a chance right now, Jacoby? We literally cannot ignore science. I don't care if it's an analyst, an athlete, a politician. You know who they're not? Anthony Fauci. And you know what he knows? Exactly what may happen during this period of time. And for some reason, baseball and the NFL are going to ignore that the NBA is in a bubble, WNBA is in a bubble, MLS, there's fight islands with Dana White, there's hub cities with the NHL that tested over 600-700 people that had 0 positive tests. And for some strange reason, Major League Baseball and the NFL feel that they're going to have seasons and not put their players in a bubble. I just don't see this execution actually taking place, Jacoby.
I mean, if you're not going to go to a bubble, I suggest that they no longer have home games in the states where the virus is the strongest and the cases are the highest. Why fly to Miami? It's not just playing against the Marlins that I'm sure the Nationals are concerned about. The whole state of Florida is spiking right now. When you go to the hotel, when you get food, when you travel there, when you get in the plane, all those other opportunities to be exposed to the virus is just not worth it. I understand why you would not go to Miami. I suggest that both the NFL and the MLB, if they're not going to go any sort of bubble experience, test as heavy as they can and do not play home games in the states and cities where the virus and the cases are the highest. Well, a lot of NFL players are a little concerned about this season, so much so that they decided to opt out of the season. 6 of them are New England Patriots, including Dante Hightower and Patrick Chung, a couple big names there. Hightower just had a child over the summer. Jalen, what do you make of these players just opting out of the season?
LDT, Laurent Duvernay of the Kansas City Chiefs, the offensive lineman, he's a hero, Jacoby. For him to opt in Canada as somebody that works in medicine that is practicing to make sure that he gave service during this period of time versus blocking for Patrick Mahomes, a guy that just got $500 million, that says something. I want to put to rest all of the Patriot, they're so smart that they're making their players sit so that they can draft Trevor Lawrence. Not going to be able to do it. They're not trying to have a losing season after Tom Brady left. That's why they got Cam Newton for $1 million on the low side and upwards of $7 million. They're trying to be competitive. They're not that much smarter than the rest of the league.
Not at all. It's interesting that so many New England Patriots have opted out of the season, but that list is not that long when you consider just how many players there are in the NFL in its entirety. But we will keep an eye on this. If more and more players start opting out, it'll be really interesting to see how the league itself reacts. Jalen, it's interesting to see how you react to this because you picked the Los Angeles Clippers to be the champions in the bubble in Orlando. Well, guess what? Kawhi Leonard not playing like a finals MVP. He didn't play well last night, and this is how he's performed in the bubble thus far in 3 games. Look at the discrepancy between his regular season performance and his bubble performance this far. 26% from the field, Jalen. 26% from the field. How concerned are you about your Clippers, Freely Will?
I'm concerned that 2 of their players, Kawhi Leonard and Lou Williams, we've seen footage of them in adult entertainment establishments. Not that they were there, that people actually videoed them, used pictures of them, and posted them on the internet. Those people need to be arrested, Jacoby, right now. Those people need to be arrested. I'm not really concerned about Kawhi Leonard. I know how much you love LeBron James, but Kawhi Leonard also has a chance to win Finals MVP for his third team. They have a couple of months to get themselves together, and I believe playing without fans and his stoic demeanor actually benefits Kawhi.
Okay. Earlier you said not to deny the science, but let's not deny his performance in the first 3 games. 26% from the field and 22% from 3. I understand there could be some rust after 4 months off. It's a new environment. It's a bubble environment. It's strange, but those are 3 really shaky performances. And when you look at the Clippers over the course of this season, they've never really played together all at the same time. And when you look at the numbers of when their key players are on the court versus off the court, there's a huge difference in minus. So, Jalen, that's another reason to be concerned. Don't you agree?
That is a reason to be concerned if they're not so very accomplished and talented in their own right. I talked about what Kawhi is bringing to the table. Paul George has distinguished himself as an all-NBA performer and a lockdown defender as well that can guard multiple positions. So can Patrick Beverley, who improved his three-point shooting. Montrezl Harrell, a great finisher. Him and Lou Williams could share the 6th man of the year. So they have their closing 5, Jacoby. We just need to find a way to get them healthy, quarantined, and like all playing at a high level before they play against your Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, guess what? You guys are struggling for production. You guys, your Clippers, don't have all their players together. Los Angeles Lakers, they're getting production from everywhere. Dion Waiters had 18 last night, and guy, J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith was 6 for 7 from 3. 6 for 7 from 3. LeBron didn't play. AD didn't play. It gave an opportunity for these new pickups to really show out in Orlando. Jalen, do you think they're going to get real playoff production from J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters?
I do, and you know this because you've been working in this industry for over 20 years. You're called to give a prediction. You give a prediction based on the information you have right now.
Sure.
And right now, if I was doing a pole position, the Lakers in the West should be in first. LeBron, AD, and then I saw Kyle Kuzma make about 4 or 5 threes the other day. I seen Dion Waiters going in his bag at the end of the game, at the end of the quarter, getting to the bucket, finishing, feeling good about himself. I seen JR hitting it off the side of the backboard and then making about 4 or 5 threes. I see all of this happening. This is great for the Lakers, a squad that will not have Bradley, that will not have Rondo, that have players Dwight Howard, Waiters, and Smith, all giving them more productivity than anybody could have imagined.
And all 3 of those players were completely written off by fans and people that work in the league themselves. And look at the performance that they've done thus far, especially Dwight Howard. I mean, J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters have looked good in a couple scrimmages so far, but they're getting real production from all 3 of those in Orlando. And Jalen, there was a report from Chris Haynes, our guy, Chris Haynes, and he said one thing that stood out to him was how loud the Lakers seemed inside that bubble environment with no fans, just how animated they were, how much they support each other. You know how LeBron James sort of does that, and he builds that culture with the handshakes and the support of each other. It just seems like they're having fun. Well, you look at the Clippers, and the Clippers are dealing with the Lou Will controversy, and they're having people going in and out, and Pat Bev coming in and out, Montrezl Harrell coming in and out. Now you've got Lou Will stuck in a hotel room for about 8 more days. I really feel like not only do the Lakers have the pole position, but the Lakers are the clear favorites to come out of the West. And Jalen, I'm gonna let you have one opportunity to move off your stance. Are you still right now picking the Clippers to come out of the Western Conference?
You're a highly trained professional, and I like what you did there. Like, I'm going to box him into a corner with a firing squad staring at him, so therefore he must answer right now. And yes, I'm still going to stand next to the Clippers because I know LeBron James leads the league in assists. And the Clippers have multiple people that should be able to turn him, to be able to make him work to get the ball up the floor, to get them into their offense, to distort it just a little bit to the point that it gives the Clippers an advantage with their depth. So, yes, Shamit, Zubac, Morris, I am still riding with the clip set for now.
They have no one that can stop LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And you're making that face for a reason, because you know if it comes down to a 7-game series, you know in your heart of hearts. You know in your heart of hearts.
Well, you said it. You ready for this? Here's what I want people to know. If Anthony Davis performs like a top 5 player, the Clippers shouldn't have a chance against the Lakers. They shouldn't even have a chance. Zubac ain't good enough. Harrell ain't tall enough. Morris ain't big or tall enough. If he plays like we anticipate him being able to play, you're right. Your squad should win. But I was at the game initially when they played previous, and he started off a little shaky before he got himself together. Look at that footage. Even shot an air ball. But if AD ball like he's supposed to, Lakers purple and gold.
Well, AD poses a problem for any defense. Another person that does, Giannis. And Jalen, I have to remind you of something. You have a vote for MVP this year. I know you're going to pick Giannis, but you get so stressed out around this time of year. You get so stressed out when they give you the ballot, whether or not you can put it in on time, the technology, and who you're going to vote for. I'm personally insulted because you always consult me before you vote, and you have not asked one single question about any of these awards to me yet, and I'm personally insulted. You've disrespected me. You have disrespected me.
I'm going to treat you like I did, and vice versa, because we're family, we're brothers. The night that we met in Strokers in Atlanta. And what you don't know is the ballot is due at midnight tonight on Tuesday. And in Detroit right now, around 4:45, 5:30, when I'm standing in front of the grill with my slides on, corns out, thighs showing, with my shorts, undershirt, sun beaming, beverage in my hand, that's when I'll do my voting. So expect a call around 5:30, 6 p.m. Eastern. In particular, when I start to get towards the work, like all NBA teams, all defensive teams, I need your support, sir. So hopefully you're available.
I got you. Jalen, thank you. We have an update on Carson Wentz, where Jadeveon Clowney could play, and Zion Williamson. All of that coming up next. Stay tuned. You're watching Jalen Jacoby.
Nobody move. Nobody get hurt.
Jalen and Jacoby is brought to you by Corona Extra. Find your beach.
Time is such an important thing, not just during this quarantine, but in your life and in the NBA. And Tissot is the official watch of the NBA. The NBA is back, and so is Tissot's Buzzer Beater Sweepstakes, bringing you a special opportunity to win exciting prizes. Every time a buzzer beater happens, a participant will win an autographed merch or watches. Sign up right now at us.tissotshop.com/buzzerbeater. That's us.tissotshop.com/buzzerbeater to enter for your chance to win. You can also shop the latest timepieces at tissotwatches.com. That is spelled TISSOTWATCHES.com. You might need help with the Tissot part. I am so dumb, I need help with the watches part. tissotwatches.com. That's where you can get the latest timepieces. And follow hashtag This Is Your Time and Tissot US on Facebook and Instagram for more information about Tissot. Tissot, this is your time. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. It is time for Jalen's favorite segment where he decides what we discuss.
Woo!
Let's keep it moving.
Woo!
Jalen, if you want to discuss the topics, take the breaks. If not, me and Meth Man jump in the minivan and keep moving. We start in Cincinnati, where Joe Burrow has signed a deal, including a very large signing bonus. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
No surprise, number 1 overall pick, national champion. Hopefully he can play as well as Kyler Murray did last season. Keep it moving for now.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
Zion Williamson.
Hit the brakes. Hit the brakes. Did you say Zion? Hit the brakes.
Zion. Just hit the brakes. That's the way it is. He's expected to return to practice on Wednesday. That is tomorrow. Jalen, do you expect to see Zion playing live action anytime soon?
See, Zion in my life is like Larry Bird, is like Redman, like the Beastie Boys. Somebody that I love so very much, but my right-hand man, my ace Boone Coon, likes him a lot more, so they snatch him from me, and I can't even appreciate him. Jacoby likes Zion more than I do, so I can't even give Zion love. When I try to talk about Zion, he gets offended. So you go ahead. That's your man. He back in the bubble.
I love.
Did he go to have wings?
So much.
Did he go to wings? Did he go have wings?
I'm sure he had some wings. I love the stretch mark rookie of the year so much. I'm going to call him like a stretch mark 4. He's a stretch mark 4 probably, but it's just no one. I've never seen a basketball player like him. His athleticism, his build, his abilities. And you've only really seen him finish in the NBA. You have not seen his playmaking, which is something we saw a lot of in Duke. I love Zion so much. I can't get enough Zion. The league engineered the bubble so Zion would not just be in it, but they padded the Pelicans' schedule to try to give him a shot at the 8th seed to have him against LeBron in round 1. And I'm 1,000% in support of anything that gets us Zion too, versus Zion. LeBron in round 1.
Zion, I promise, I love you too, but he just loves you more.
I absolutely do. Moving on. Carson Wentz has a bone to pick.
Hit the brakes on this one.
Or hit the brakes. Oh, really? NFL Network's listed their top 100 players, and Carson Wentz, oh, wait, he wasn't even ranked. He was not even in the top 100 players. Jalen, your thoughts?
It was just reparations from a couple of years ago when he was ranked number 3 prematurely, and then they put him at 96, and then they won the Super Bowl without him. And then last year, he actually played really well and should have been higher than the previous ranking. And for some reason, they made him lower. All he's going to do is come out here and ball. I got something for you. I looked down at my phone and I text this to Himbo, Paul Himbagides, a great researcher.
Oh, what?
And I was like, the Eagles got a lot of speed this offseason. He was like, they're the first team ever to get 3 guys that run 4.4 or less in the same summer.
Can't get over how you say his name. Everybody calls him Hembo because he's got a hard last name to say. It's Paul Hembakitis, I believe. Shout out to you, Hembo. We're going to move on. Bradley McDougald is saying that there is a new jet on the way, potentially. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes. We love super teams.
Brand new jet, Bradley McDougald, who came over to the Jets with a bunch of round 1 picks, says that he spoke to Jadeveon Clowney, and Clowney wants to be on the Jets. Do you think there's a deal there to be made?
Yo, let me tell you something. There are deals within deals. And if the Jets, Mike Greenberg, open your ears. If the Jets made this move with Adams, knowing bringing Dougal and the picks would get Clowney, it's a slam dunk for the Jets. It's a slam dunk for the Jets.
I mean, the Clowney and Cam Newton and like when J.R. Smith and Carmelo Anthony, sometimes you look at these players like, why aren't they on a team? Also, Colin Kaepernick, just to throw him in there as well. When you look at these players, like, why aren't these players on a team? I don't understand it.
Look down at your phone. Look down at your phone. J.R. Smith was like, good looking, dog, for putting me in that class.
Oh, that's my guy. That's my guy. You see him. Keenan Allen went on a little bit of a rampage yesterday. Hit the brakes. Keenan Allen, he said that he called out Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and said that he was a better receiver than anybody in his division. Does he have a legit stance here?
So you ready for this? I didn't play in the NFL, but I know what time those games come on Sunday, on Monday, and on Thursday. And there can't be a human being walking the face of the earth that have watched more games than me. And I'll just tell you this. DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Let me just let me rewind the tape.
I agree.
DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the NFL. He got hands like Odell in style. He got size like Julio. He got speed like Tariq. DeAndre Hopkins, when you see him play with Kyler Murray this year, we're not going to be having this conversation after this year. Mike Evans, love him. Godwin, love him. Julio, animal. Mike Thomas, terrific hands. Ain't nobody seeing DeAndre Hopkins. That's my opinion.
Jalen, you have a hand in creating some of these versus battles. It just so happens that you speak it into existence sometimes because you had Chris Brown and Usher trending. You had Dog versus Dog, DMX versus Snoop. Are we on the verge of another one? Because none other than Juicy J went to Twitter and he called out who? He called out Nas. Juicy J versus Nas. Jalen, I love Juicy J. You got a unique sound. One of my favorites. You know it, Juicy J, when you hear it. But come on, dog. Jalen, what do you think about this potential matchup?
Jacoby, you know I'm highly invested in this. Shout to my brother Swiss Beats, who allows me to be a part of this and takes my opinions and advice on certain versus battles. Here's what I'll tell you. I have one for my brother Juicy J, and it ain't Nas. I have one for him. You ready for it? You ready for it?
Yeah.
Juicy J versus Flavor Flav. Juicy J versus Flavor Flav.
Jalen.
How about that?
Jalen.
They both got some records.
Go to break. Go to break. Jalen's lost his mind. Jalen's lost his mind. Go to break. Go to break. Go to break.
Juicy J.
Lucky enough to have a lot of sponsors in the past 9+ years here at Jalen and Jacoby podcast, but there is no sponsor more important to me. I've never been more passionate about a product than I am about this. You know I am a card-carrying capo of the minivan mafia, and my favorite minivan now sponsors the show. I'm talking about the Chrysler Pacifica. The features on this thing: cup holders everywhere, outlets all over the place, 2 TVs, and you know you're going to put kids in there. What are kids going to do? Snack. Well, the snack's going to end up on the floor. There's a vacuum in the car. There's a vacuum in the car. And my favorite feature, there's a thing called stow and go seating. Guess what you do? Snap of the fingers. You can make one of those captain's chairs disappear into the floor. When I first saw it, I was flabbergasted. You just move a panel, seat goes into the floor, put the panel back. Now the seat doesn't exist anymore. You can walk to the back and strap in your kids into the back, and you can flow through the car. It's excellent, and you get all of this and $1,000 off just for listening to this podcast. And now Chrysler's offering Jalen and Jacoby listeners an exclusive $1,000 bonus cash offer towards a new Chrysler Pacifica. Just visit givethepeoplepacifica.com. Again, givethepeoplepacifica.com and fill out your information for your exclusive $1,000 offer. Right now, go to givethepeoplepacifica.com. because you get that on top of their Pacifica family pricing offer. The family pricing, your family is their family. Customers can receive Chrysler's employee price and get $7,395 below the MSRP on a 2020 Chrysler Pacifica models, plus the incremental $1,000 for being a Jalen and Jacoby listener for a total savings of $8,385. Again, that's givethepeoplepacifica.com. They also have a partnership with No Kid Hungry. It's the best-in-class storage capacity in SUVs and crossovers. The only minivan in the class with stow and go seating. They have a theater system with 2 10-inch HD touchscreens. Pacifica is America's first and only hybrid. It is also a 2019 IIHS top safety pick. I love the Chrysler Pacifica so much. I could do this ad read for the entire 1-hour podcast. Remember, go to givethepeoplepacifica.com right now.
Jalen and Jacoby is brought to you by Corona Extra. Find your beach.
Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen JJ Redick was on a podcast and he said that Steph gets disrespected. Do you think Steph is disrespected?
As a guard that plays in the league, he better say that because he's going to have to guard him at some point when the Splash Brothers return because they were both injured this year. Draymond Green is going to play a lot better next year. They added Wiggins, and they're going to have a lottery pick. The Warriors will be in the Western Conference Finals next year.
Interesting prediction. Jalen, it is time for our Lou Will moment of the day. Every day we will celebrate Lou Will while he is in his 10-day quarantine, guilty of eating chicken wings. Here he is dunking on Robert Sacre bleu.
Free Lou
Jalen.
Will. Free Lou Will.
Free Lou Will. Free Lou Will. Lou Will ate some wings at a restaurant. That's what he is guilty of. This man is being punished for eating wings at a restaurant. There is no justice in the bubble.
What about all
Jalen.
of the phony adults that act like, oh, it's such a bad thing? Oh, my goodness. And it's more strip clubs in their hometown than it's colleges and universities.
We will be co-hosting First Take tomorrow. Tune into that and stay tuned because Dan Le Batard and Highly Questionable is up next. Sports Clips Haircuts now has Amazon Alexa and Google Nest device online check-in. That's right. Enjoy features you already know from Sports Clips website and mobile app check-in, including checking your favorite wait times and choosing your favorite location. Keep your valuable time to yourself and get in line online before heading in for your next haircut. Sports Clips. You choose the cut. They cut the wait. Jalen, we had some tech problems yesterday, so we could not give people the pod exclusive. You know, and I feel bad. I got a couple tweets about it. I feel bad every time I get those tweets. And I said that we were going to give people voicemails, and I didn't give anybody any voicemails. You know, I'm not giving the people what they want. And you know what? I'm not going to say it's your fault or blame technology or blame somebody else. I'm going to look right into the camera, speak right into the microphone, say, it's my fault. I take full responsibility. I'll try to be better moving forward. Jalen, I want to tell you something. I took my basketball out today. And I went to the park.
Whoa.
And I got some shots up. Shots up. Let me tell you something. Just about 20 minutes, you know. Let me tell you something. I was never really a shooter to begin with. Like, I'm not really a scorer. You play basketball with me. But those double rims in New York City, after 4 months off, it was just a real blow to your ego. It took a while, man. It took a while just for me to feel comfortable. Just to hit a 15-footer felt like I was shooting like 10%. It was tough out there. But I got going towards the end.
That plays outside, I clearly couldn't have been one of the best eighth graders or a high school All-American if I didn't play outside a lot. And I barnstormed different cities, different courts, different teams, one-on-ones, two-on-twos, three-on-threes, king of the courts, play for 500, play for 1,000, play for whatever. This is how I ate. This is my hustle. And I'll tell you this. I'll walk to any court in the United States of America, and I see two rims connected to each other, floaters, layups, and dunks. That's it. That's it.
It's tough.
I don't say that to nobody else, but I say that to me. I am not shooting outside of that paint because I cannot make shots on a double hoop. So I understand exactly what you're saying, fam. My shots outside of the paint, when it's two rim, bricks every time.
No, it's hard for the ego because it's been 4 months, the longest I haven't shot a basketball my entire life. Just even like little bunnies, like those little 4-foot ones where you're warming up, clang, and the rebound goes far too. The rim disrespects you. The rim's just like, run after that ball. It's like a workout.
Jacoby, hold on. Let me tell you the funniest thing about doing this show. And I don't know if you heard this. Did you hear our producer D in our ear talking about LA playgrounds? I make shots. I'm a legend. Did you?
I did not. That was just to you. That was just to you. He did not say that to me.
sounded like he Benny the Butcher and it's Griselda.
Yeah. You show up to any court in South Central, and just say, you just have to say the first two syllables, Demi, and they know. They're like, Demetrius Harris. He is a legend around here, an absolute legend. Perfect bald head. Jalen, we say we can give people what they want. And if you call 985-80-JALEN, you can leave us a voicemail. I promise that we will include these in every single podcast. You know what? I didn't come through on that promise, but I can only move forward in time. So, Matt, what do you got?
What up, Jalen and Jacoby? What it do, baby? Uncle Jalen, Uncle Jacoby. This is Jonathan living out in Los Angeles, California. Jalen, I got a question for you. Can you give us a little update with shooting up the club? You talked a lot before about practice, and you're going to be shooting up the club. I figured we're 4 months into the pandemic, and maybe we would hear a little something about Jalen Jr. coming out maybe in a few months. So, yeah, give the people what they want. Give them an update. Are you still shooting up the club? All right. Peace.
What up, though? Thank you for the call. I appreciate the love. So I got to tell the world a secret. When you say it into a microphone that you're able to shoot up the club, you know what that does when your wife works in the media? It gives you free practice sessions. Like, Jacoby, talk to the public. Like, some of this stuff.
You were talking real crazy though. Like a year ago, you're like, I'm shooting up the club. Jalen Jr. coming. You know what I mean? Here we are a year later with no update. And Jonathan from Los Angeles is like, yo, you were talking about shooting up the club. I didn't hear nothing.
There's certain times of the month. There's words like ovulating that I had to learn. There's a level of patience and discipline. There's certain habits that I have in my life that don't go best when you're trying to do things like that. You know, when you learn more about the science and the things that you're putting in your body, and there's certain things at times of the month that I put in my body that I feel like I don't want to be shooting up the club at the same time that I'm putting those things in my body. But I will tell you this. Look up at the sky. The stars are aligning. They're aligning. The stars are aligning. Yeah. I see toe polish in the air. I see this is lining up great. This is
toe polish in the air.
I see
Sometimes
toe polish.
you say
All I
things
see
that
is
just blow
toe
my
polish
mind.
in the air.
I see toe polish in the air. Wow. Wow. Jalen, I have an announcement. Related announcement for you. My best friend, college roommate, Michael Landon Rodriguez, had a baby boy today.
Dope. Congratulations.
Baby boy today. Big shout to him and his wife, Lauren. So he hasn't decided yet. Me and my wife were talking about this. He hasn't decided the name yet. It's like, y'all had 10 months to come up with a name. Baby comes out. Don't have a name. Come on now. They're deciding between a couple.
I mean, how much more time? You know what? If y'all confused, just name the baby Jacoby and Jalen. Switch it up.
I said Jacoby as the middle name probably works. Yeah, Jalen Jacoby Rod. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, just switch it up.
I'll tell him you said that. I'll tell him you said that. Big shout to Mike. Shout out to Mike.
Congratulations.
We have time for another voicemail. What do you got, Matt?
Shout out Brianna. Question for Jacoby. By the way, this is Fitz from Houston. I know y'all just had a Houston caller on Friday, but hopefully y'all still show H-Town some love. Question for Jacoby. Why aren't you embracing your fans online? You don't got a Wikipedia page. You can barely find any information about you. I didn't even know how tall you were until you just said it on Friday that you were like 6'3". I had to kind of like fact check it on some pictures. So you got fans out here. Why aren't you embracing them? That's really the only question is. I know everybody knows Jalen, but Jacoby got fans too. So start embracing them. I guess just why aren't you embracing your online presence? That's it. Keep giving the people what they want. Keep doing what you guys do. Thanks.
Fitz, my guy. Fitz. Okay, let me break this down.
What up now?
I've never, ever had a negative experience with someone come up to me in the street and recognizing me. It just never happened. I love the people. I engage with the people. I embrace the people, not just online, but in real life at all times. The Wikipedia page thing does bother me, but you can't write your own Wikipedia page. You know what I mean? You can't write your own.
Right.
Like that guy has to happen organically. You can't write your own. But if you do Google David Jacoby, a senator in Iowa pops up. Big shout to that Dave Jacoby, but I can't believe that this dude has a bigger profile than me. And you know what happened just last weekend? We're driving in the car. My son grabs my wife's phone, and he's getting to the age where he can write and read and Google stuff. So he Googles David Jacoby. And he's like, Daddy, why is this dude popping up when I put your name into Google? I got some. He's like, this big bald guy. She's like, you're not a bald guy. So you know what, Fitz, you and my son. Fitz, can you do me a favor, Fitz? Can you write my Wikipedia page? Another thing people always say to me, I didn't realize you were so tall. People say to me all the time, I didn't realize you were so tall. I didn't realize you were so tall. It's like, I'm always next to Jalen Anthony Rose, who's 6'7", 6'8". And we're almost eye to eye.
That's a good point. I've heard people say that to you a lot too.
People say it all the time. I didn't realize you were so tall. So I'm sitting down too. Like I'm sitting down.
That's a great point. And to them, you're not taller than me. And then they see you and realize that you're taller than them. And then that's what make them say that.
It was one of the first things that Tracy McGrady ever said to me. Like I introduced myself to him. He was like, I didn't realize you were so tall.
And he's taller than me. McGrady. So let me tell y'all, I'm glad you brought up Tracy McGrady. Let me just tell y'all something about Tracy McGrady. All right. So I'm 6'8", stretching it, like 6'7.5", closer to 6'8".
Yeah.
So Tracy McGrady is listed as 6'8" too, right? I'll never forget I first played against him. This dude like 3 inches taller than me. I'm looking at this dude like, this dude is way taller than me. This dude is the same height as Kevin Garnett. This dude ain't 6'8". This dude is 6'10". And this dude got crazy bounce off 2 feet, pogo stick. Hey, man, if that dude didn't get injured, man, he made the Hall of Fame just waking up in the morning.
Oh, yeah. If you're under 25, go to YouTube right now and look up some Tracy McGrady highlights because Tracy McGrady, he doesn't get spoken about when it comes to, top 10s and Mount Rushmores and things like that.
Dude,
but
man, his whole career.
At his peak, because he was injured, but at his peak, he was as good as they come. Absolutely as good as he
I played against him on Christmas Day, Orlando at Indiana. I think we won, and I believe he had like 40, and I believe I had like 30. But then he got me back with the Bulls because I think he had like 55 on us in 3 quarters. And I was not guarding him. If you look back at that footage, it's before Kobe 81. I was the vet. I probably didn't guard him one play that game.
Yeah,
that was the OG vet move. That was the OG vet.
You know better.
I did that with Kobe the first 2 or 3 quarters. I remember coming to the huddle like, I got him. Let me get some of that. Let me get some of that.
How'd that go?
I tried to take her to the post, and one time I got fouled. The other time I made the shot. Sam Mitchell was so mad at me. I'm like, we got to slow this dude down, man. Oh, man.
You're the best. Hilarious. Fitz, right on my Wikipedia page. Everybody, don't forget, we have First Take tomorrow. Jalen Jacoby. This time, Molly Karen will be hosting. Should be on around 10:30 on ESPN1. I gotta get another suit and tie combo, Jay. I only got like 3 of these. They better stop inviting me back on First Take, or I'm gonna have to go shopping. We'll be back on First Take tomorrow. Why is that, Jalen Rose?
We're not done. We're not done. We're not.
Agents 24/7, which means that Geico is always there for you. If only everyone was always there for you. Like your mom, when you fill out really, really important paperwork on the first day of a new job.
Name, check. Birthday, social security, is that a thing? Hey, Mom, what is my social security number? Mom. Okay, let's guess. 0017. Oh, Gemini. #. Done.
Geico, always there for you with savings and 24/7 access to